What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video we're going to be going over a brand new filing out of Ripple in the Ripple SEC case, where Ripple absolutely slams the SEC for bringing this case against them before they had their facts straight. Guys, in this video we're going to be going over Ripple's filing, what they said in this thing, because this is one of the first times in a while we have really seen Ripple ramp up the pressure against the SEC, and they absolutely flamed them in this filing. Guys, in this video we're going to go over exactly what Ripple said, how I think it's going to impact this case going forward. Make sure to stick around for that. You are not going to want to miss it. I was also digging through Twitter last night and found a very interesting tweet where a very important regulator in our market came out and said that they don't believe the SEC is actually suing Ripple, saying that today's XRP is a security. Guys, I want to go over that and go over exactly why I think the SEC has been so ambiguous about whether they are saying XRP sold by Ripple is a security or XRP itself is a security. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see that. You are definitely going to want to see it. Last of all, guys, Brad Garlinghouse has gone full on Riddler mode. Brad Garlinghouse is talking 589. At the end of this video, we're going to go over that. Make sure to stick around. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. Please make sure if you enjoy videos like this, you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy and sell XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description below. Uphold is one of my favorite exchanges and a great place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the update. Real quick, guys, Moomoo is blowing it out of the water with their promotions. You can now win 15 free stocks if you sign up with Moomoo using the link in the description of this video. Most importantly, each one of these stocks can be worth up to $2,000. And guys, Moomoo is also a great exchange. It's regulated, and they also have some very innovative new features such as the industrial chain that will help you guys identify which stocks are most likely to do well in our current market based on what's trending. They also have an awesome thing going on right now where you could take a stock picking quiz and win a free share of Amazon. So guys, do not miss out on this opportunity. These promotions do not last forever. Go sign up with Moomoo now using the link in the description of this video. So guys, I want to start out this video and talk about something we have not talked about a while, and that is Empower. If you guys don't remember, Empower is actually a third-party organization suing the SEC. Empower is a government watchdog, and essentially they got involved in this case when they noticed serious conflicts of interest going on at the SEC when the SEC decided to go after Ripple and give Ethereum a free pass. Well, Empower tweeted out today that the reason they have not been as active as usual is because the SEC has been purposely trying to delay their case against them, and actually that the SEC has been purposely hiding information from Empower. Pretty much Empower has been submitting different FOIA requests to the SEC, trying to get different documents relating to who Bill Hinman was talking to when he was working at the SEC. Well, apparently the SEC was purposely misreading Empower's requests and sending them the wrong documents, and sometimes even blatantly ignoring the documents that Empower was asking for. I'm not going to go through this entire thread, but Jason Foster, the founder of Empower, really breaks down how absurd the SEC's behavior has been through this entire process, and says it is completely embarrassing that a government agency is acting like this. All I could think about when I read this was, how does the SEC get so many scumbags working at their agency? I tweeted out, hey Hester Peirce, how do you identify someone corrupt enough to work at the SEC? Guys, I don't understand how even the people just handling the FOIA request at the SEC are so corrupt that they can't even hand over the documents that Jason Foster from Empower is asking for. I think it just shows though that the SEC has a ton to hide, because even in the early emails that Jason Foster was able to get his hands on, they were already extremely damning for the SEC. The fact that the SEC is trying to hide documents and that was the best stuff they could hand over really shows that the SEC is being backed into a corner here, and they likely have a lot of stuff they are trying to hide from the public. Ultimately, I think this is going to backfire big time for the SEC, and this is just another reason I've been shocked that the SEC has not settled this case yet. With so many different people hitting the SEC from different angles, it's shocking that they are still dragging out this case, because it is obviously increasing the scrutiny against their agency. Ultimately though, I'm super happy with what Jason Foster is doing. He is actually suing the SEC to hand over these documents, so hopefully that goes well and he can get his hands on them, because I have a feeling they are going to be extremely damning. Now, we actually got a report from Charles Gasparino earlier today that a lot of people internally at the SEC are getting super fed up with Gary Gensler. So who knows if everyone at the SEC is really as corrupt as the high up people, or they are just driving the show. Either way, though, this is a good sign, because the more attorneys we actually see leave the SEC because they are so fed up with Gary Gensler, the more Gary Gensler is going to have to capitulate on a lot of the cases he planned on bringing. Ultimately, Gary Gensler is in a horrible position in the current Ripple SEC case, so it's hard to believe he actually thinks there aren't better cases out there for him to fight. Either way, though, it looks like Gary Gensler's locked into taking this to summary judgment, so I guess he just wants to take a massive public loss. Maybe Gary Gensler will leave the SEC before that, who knows, but it's good to know there's a ton of pressure mounting internally and externally on the SEC. So guys, let's keep moving and talk about the brand new filing that Ripple actually submitted to the court earlier today in the ongoing Ripple SEC case. So if you guys remember, the other day we actually talked about two third parties submitting motions to this case. It was TapJets and Iremit, and they were explaining to the court how they use XRP for its independent utility outside the company Ripple. Essentially, what these two companies were doing is they were going to the court and saying, look, we use XRP and Ripple has nothing to do with it. We want to show you that we use XRP like a currency and not like an investment or not like any contract with Ripple. What these companies are doing is saying, hey, we think the SEC has this wrong. We do not use XRP like a security, so we want to show you how we use it to help you make a decision. Well, of course, the SEC hated this and actually filed a motion trying to get these two parties kicked out of the case. Well, today Ripple responded and they absolutely flamed the SEC. Essentially, Ripple went on to say in their motion that why is the SEC trying to kick out two parties who are just trying to provide more information on how they use XRP? It really has nothing to do with Ripple, and therefore the SEC shouldn't be so determined to kick them out of the case. But the last sentence is where Ripple really went hard. The SEC told the court that the SEC would need extra time if these motions were allowed into this case, because the SEC has not actually had time to figure out how it would impact these parties if XRP was deemed a security. Well, you could imagine that this really pissed off Ripple, because first of all, why is the SEC bringing this case if they haven't even determined what the impact would be? Well, Ripple went on to say, if the SEC cannot evaluate the veracity of such claims, then it has no business bringing this litigation in the first place. Absolutely tearing the SEC apart for the most obvious thing in the room. The SEC has brought a case against Ripple claiming XRP is a security, but there is absolutely no infrastructure to handle such a claim. There are no exchanges that are set up to handle crypto securities, and there are no traditional exchanges that can handle cryptocurrencies. Therefore, the SEC is essentially offering a death sentence to XRP simply by claiming it's a security. Regulators are not supposed to be picking winners and losers, so the fact that the SEC comes out and says that they have not even thought about what the implications could be if XRP was called a security is completely embarrassing and shows that the SEC might not even really be convinced that XRP is a security. If the SEC really thought XRP was a security, well then they obviously would have had plans to show the court how XRP was going to trade in the future after the designation was made that XRP was a security. I think at the end of the day, we are slowly moving towards the reality that the SEC never thought they were going to win on the claim that XRP today per se is a security, and the SEC really brought this case because they think Ripple's sales of XRP is a security. Now, with that said, I want to show you something very interesting along these lines because I actually found a very prominent regulator saying this exact thing. So guys, this tweet is actually from Caitlin Long, and if you guys don't know who Caitlin Long is, she is a very prominent member in the cryptocurrency community, and she is a very smart lady. She's a regulator in Wyoming, and she has been critical to setting up a lot of the banking infrastructure for these different cryptocurrency companies to use. So a while back when Ripple first moved to Wyoming, if you guys don't remember, Ripple actually got a bank license in Wyoming. Caitlin Long actually tweeted out to someone else, and I don't know who she was responding to. I wish I could read this, but she said, be careful about your last sentence. I don't know what that is. She said, Ripple setting up a domicile in Wyoming likely won't impact its SEC lawsuit. For securities laws violation at issue in the SEC lawsuit happened long before Ripple came to Wyoming. Now, she actually goes on to make a second comment, but it's really not important in the context of what we're talking about. What Caitlin Long just said, though, is critical. She said that the SEC is going after Ripple for a securities violation that happened long before Ripple came to Wyoming. This means that she does not believe the SEC is going after Ripple saying XRP today is a security. She believes the SEC is actually going after Ripple for their early sales of XRP. Now guys, this is a critical distinction because this is something that most lawyers following this case ultimately thought the SEC would pivot to. No one actually thinks that the SEC can win this case saying that XRP today is a security. We even heard from another very important regulator, Brian Brooks, that the easiest way to settle this case was to call Ripple's past sales of XRP a securities transaction, but XRP today is not a security. Well, here we have another regulator saying the same exact thing. I think the only reason why the SEC has actually kept the fact that XRP today could be deemed a security in their case is to try to threaten Ripple into a better settlement for the SEC. I think at the end of the day, the SEC knows this is an impossible thing to win. Almost every single person who has commented on this case from inside the government does not believe the SEC actually has a chance of calling today's XRP a security. Either way, though, I think this is very interesting, and if you guys didn't know, Caitlin Long actually used to work at Ripple, so I think she would have a very good understanding of what's going on here. Either way, though, this is a really good sign, and ultimately, I do think she's going to be right. I think John Deaton's also right in saying that the SEC is still trying to say that XRP today is a security, but I do believe the SEC is going to be forced to pivot on this issue, and this is a massive win for XRP holders. So guys, I want to finish this video off and show you guys a riddle that Brad Garlinghouse is currently dropping on the XRP community. Take a look at how many people Brad Garlinghouse is now following. 589, and if you guys think this is just a coincidence, take a look at this. Brad Garlinghouse actually liked a tweet by XRP Productions. Guys, this is hilarious. This is a fake tweet from the SEC, currently investigating whether Brad Garlinghouse following exactly 589 people is some kind of unlawful promotion of XRP. Watch this space. Pretty funny, guys. I don't think Brad Garlinghouse really means anything by this, but he's definitely messing with the XRP community. And guys, if this means anything, it shows that Brad Garlinghouse pays close attention to the riddles we are talking about. So let's hope we are right on most of them. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.